Did you see that shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss.21, and Chicago's #1 underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Yo, Apollo,
What's up, man?
did you hear that shit?
What did I hear this time?
Ariel Helwani is now an ESPN employee.
That could be good or bad, because maybe somebody finally can talk about MMA on a intelligent basis for the first time ever.
Yeah, we'll see. He definitely is the most credentialed. He's definitely deserving. So what's going to happen is I guess he's no longer working for MMA fighting, or maybe he's going to be on in a part-time capacity or something, because I guess he's still going to be doing the MMA Hour, but this is what's new. Ariel will have his own podcast on ESPN+. Also, Ariel and Chael Sonnen will be having a podcast called Ariel on the Bad Guy.
I like it. How long before Dana White gets him fired?
I don't think he will, because that relationship isn't really going to have anything to do with Dana. So, I mean, ESPN specifically went out and got him. He's, like I said, he's the most credentialed, he's the most well-known, and probably the most deserving. So, if you haven't figured out, you're listening to the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast. I'm Mike Strauss, a.k.a. Strauss21. That is Apollo Taj Mahal.
The self-proclaimed #1 comic in Chicago. If you're listening to us, you know what you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all your favorite podcasting apps. You can find us there at Did You See That or Did You See That Shit. Also, you can find us at didyousee.shit.com with all our interviews and podcasts right there.
And the YouTube channel, Missing Time Productions, all the content goes there as well. We appreciate all love and support. If you want to get more intimate, give us a call, 708-669-477. Shoot us an email, Mike at didyousee.shit.com. We'd like to give a shout out to Fight Fit Lifestyle, too.
I've been rocking those sunglasses for far too long, man.
Whether you're a man, woman, child, whatever the case may be, they have all kinds of awesome gear. FightFitLifestyle.com. Not just for fighters, too, even if it's just casual sporting wear. It's very cool shit. Very quality stuff, too.
My mom's about to order those leggings.
So UFC 225 has a lot of local flavor to it. It's here in Chicago, a lot of guys on it. You got Clay Guida, you got Pettis, who has Milwaukee ties close to Chicago, Rashard Evans, Mike Santiago. So many guys on this card, Curtis Blades. But Mike Santiago is a guy that his fight, I believe, should be higher up on the card. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But it's guys like him, local guys, when promotions like the UFC and Bellator go into certain markets that help sell tickets and drive sales, he is going to have a big support group there. And his fight versus Dan Ige is going to be something special. We had a chance to catch up with him. Here's our conversation with Mike Santiago. I want to introduce Mike Santiago. He's a UFC featherweight, and he gets his chance finally to fight in front of his people in his own backyard, UFC 225 in Chicago. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, man?
Man, stoked to have you, brother. You're a great fighter, and you're going to get your chance to fight in your own backyard, your stomping grounds, man, against Dan Ige. How do you feel about that?
I know, man. I'm pumped, man. I'm excited. It's really a dream come true, man.
For sure.
Fighting on the biggest stage that you could possibly be at, and to be at home, you know, in front of everyone, it's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, you've been putting a lot of hard work in, man, for many years. Top notch. I know you're a close friend of Ricardo Lamas. He just opened that new gym in Naperville. It's doing really well. I saw you on one of those Wrestle Wednesday things with him.
Yeah. Wrestling Wednesdays, man. That's going to be a thing for us pretty much every day. I might even do it today with him. But yeah, man, Rick's great, man. He's got his gym.
It's a really, really beautiful gym.
Yeah, it's huge, man. And the pictures, you know, don't do the justice. It's enormous in there.
For sure. Well, man, you've had a rough go in the UFC so far, 0-2, but the guys you fought are fucking super tough dudes, man. And your showings were very well. Dan Ige is a little bit different of a fighter than you've had in the UFC. How are you thinking, like, heading into this fight?
Man, I'm thinking I got everything to lose. You know, he's got we both got everything to lose. You know, we're both in a slump right now on the UFC, but I don't think that characterizes us as, you know, how good we actually are, you know, him or myself. But I'm going out there literally guns a-blazing, man. I need to, you know, I'm basically fighting for my life in this next fight, and yeah, I need to make something happen. I know that, so everything that I've been training is going to be based on, you know, really finishing this fight, because that's exactly what I got to do.
That whole week is going to be super exciting, man. You know, with the pre-fight press conference, the weigh-ins. How much are you looking forward to that whole week?
Yeah, you know what? I look forward to the fight, man. The pre-fight press conferences and stuff, especially being at home, I know it's going to be great. I know it's going to be fun, and there's going to be so many local people and so many local businesses and stuff around supporting all the local guys that are going to be on the card. But man, I'm excited either way. I love the fight. I put my whole life and my whole heart into this sport, into this lifestyle, and I just can't wait to show off my skill set, man. Like you said, I might have had a slump, my last couple fights, but if people have been following me, my career, after my last little slump, I went on a 11 fight win streak. So, that's what I'm planning to do here next after this fight. So.
For sure. I know you will, man. Did you get a chance to watch the Edgar Ortega fight?
I did, man. I did. I definitely did.
What'd you think of that?
I think Brian Ortega's a bad man. Both of them are excellent. Frankie Edgar's been around so long. He's already a legend in his own name, and he's made such an impact on the sport already. And for him, he's a scrapper. He loves to fight. Just like everyone else who's in the UFC, man, and no matter what, short notice or not, he's gonna go out there and fight, and that's what he does. And he might have got finished, but he's fighting again, right? He's fighting again up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Cub Swanson, man, co-main event of the Atlantic City again. Card.
Yeah, that is. I mean, he's a legend, man. He's a savage, but Brian Ortega, man, he is a young up and coming guy, still undefeated, just. Beating these legends, and I can't wait to see him and Max Holloway go at it.
Right, all of a sudden that becomes one of the must-see fights this year, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Going away from fights here for a second, man, kind of something we like to do here. I'm going to give you 3 girls, or 3 women, rather. Let me know how you would choose them. You have to marry one, keep one as a side chick, and fight one. Would it be Kat Zingano, Rose Namajunas, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk?
Okay. So you said marry one, have one as a side, and fight one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'd probably marry Joanna.
Okay.
I'd probably have Zingano as a side, and I probably wouldn't want to fight Rose.
There you go. I appreciate it, man. Well, the floor is yours. You have sponsors. I'm sure the floor is yours, man. Anything you'd like to shout out?
No, just some local sponsors. Especially for this fight coming up, that's what I'm gonna be looking for. That Grit Mouth Guards, Fat Boy Fight Gear is one of my newest sponsors. Team Top Notch, Alliance Jiu-Jitsu Chicago, Pariah MMA out in Colorado Springs. That's my other camp that I go to and train leading up to my fights. I'll probably go out there for a couple weeks. Probably here in a week or so, I'll probably be leaving to go out there just to get out of here and get my mind right for this fight coming up.
Do you usually do that before your fights, just to kind of clear your head?
Yeah, go out there, and it's great. They got a gym full of killers out there as well, just like my gym here at home, Top Notch. It's just good to get out, different bodies, different styles, and a bunch of good guys on the floor, a bunch of good guys in the room, and different looks at the game,
Mm-hmm.
So it's always great to get out of your comfort zone. I always see people say, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think that's a huge part of the game. So, take yourself out of your own element, and you'll probably succeed.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's definitely good words to live by, man. If you could, man, we have a little tradition here. If you could you just say this is Mike Santiago, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast?
Yeah, this is Mike Santiago, and thanks for listening to Did You See That Shit podcast.
I appreciate it so much, Mike.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me, Bo.
Anytime, man. I'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you fight week. Good luck.
Yes. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
All right.
He seems super ready to, especially, man, representing in his hometown.
Another local fighter from Chicago, Manny Vasquez, he is not going to be on the UFC 225 card in Chicago. He's not technically a UFC guy yet. He did make an appearance on last season's Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series, fell just short to Joby Sanchez in a crazy fight, but he's right on the cusp there. He's a guy that will be signed very soon. We also had a chance to catch up with him. I want to welcome Manny Vasquez. He is the #1 ranked pro bantamweight from Illinois. That's out of 273 guys, so that's out of a lot of dudes. And remember, this dude is the pride of Elmwood Park, and you might recognize him from last summer's Dana White Contender Series. What's going on, Manny?
up, Mike? How you doing?
Doing awesome, brother. I appreciate you doing this. I know that you are super busy. So how's it going, man? I know you were just coming off of another title defense, right?
Yeah, man. I fought for the cage aggression belt. Fought Sean West, top opponent, number 1 in Iowa, number 3 in the Midwest. He was. It was a big win. He's an LA vet. It was my first time back in like 8 months, so it was nice to get back in there.
I mentioned it a little early on, man. The Dana White Contender Series. How was that whole experience last summer?
It was cool. I got to meet a lot of cool people. I got to, it was a good experience. Got to be in the Ultimate Fighter House. They took care of us out there. I want to, hopefully next time the UFC calls, it'll be at 135 because 125 was just, was brutal.
So ultimately where you would like to stay and fight at is where you have been at 135?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they called me 3 weeks notice. I was walking around about 155, and I wasn't going to say no, so I did what I had to do to make it. But, it wasn't pretty. Good time when I went out there.
I mean, you still put out a very good performance against a very tough dude in Joby Sanchez, so it was still a very good fight, man. Another dude that is in your weight class that's about your same age, Shorty Torres. Have you ever crossed paths with him?
Oh, I know Shorty. We went to the same college. He was a couple years older than me. He's a good guy. People would like to see that fight. I'm up for it, but I think that's a UFC caliber fight. So if the UFC wants to set it up, then yeah, for sure. If they set that up at the United Center, that'd be the first time a prelim fight would sell out the United Center. I guarantee you. Both got a big fan base, and it'd be a super exciting fight for sure.
To me, that fight has as much intrigue as any fight on the main card for sure, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you both will ultimately get your shot in the UFC. It's just a matter of time. I mean, you fought a lot of UFC caliber guys: Steven Peterson, Ricardo Ramos, Chris Dunn, Shane Moffitt. I remember you fighting. Win or lose, who do you think were some of the fights that you really took a big learning experience from?
I literally all those guys you just named. Each of them showed me, what I was lacking, what I was good at. Showed me that I could hang with anybody in the world, because I'm fighting world-class competition. I'm only 24 and I'm beating guys that are, killing it in the UFC right now. And, there's no reason why I don't belong there. And I put the time in. I've got, 15 pro fights. I've got finishes over top-ranked opponents. And, I think being in there with those guys just, it gives you the confidence that you've been there. Nobody's going to surprise you. You know what to expect. And, you're ready for anything.
For sure. Stepping away from fighting for a second here, let me ask you, man. I'm going to give you 3 girls. If you had to marry one, keep one as a side chick, and beat one up, who would you choose? For which one would you choose, rather? Rose, Joanna, and Shevchenko?
Oh, man, you're going to get me in trouble with my girlfriend. Well, I'm not going to beat up a girl, but if the one I wouldn't like was Joanna. I feel like she talks a lot. And then I'd marry Valentina, for sure.
Okay, and then we'll have Rose as the side girl. But of course,
yes.
This is all just shenanigans. So I don't want to get you in trouble. MTC, Midwest Training Center, and do you still train there and the UFC gym in Orland?
I train at Midwest Training Center. I train at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Lombard, and I train at Team 110. So yeah, I'm all over Chicagoland.
Yeah, 10th Planet Lombard with Omar Ocasio.
Yes. Omar's my jiu-jitsu instructor.
Very cool.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's
a cool guy and super good jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely, one of the best around here for sure. I was very excited. I'm in Lombard, so I was very excited when they put that gym right here, man. Before I let you go, man, let me get your thoughts on the fight that hopefully everybody wants to see here, man. Mighty Mouse and TJ Dillashaw. Do you think the fight happened? And if so, who do you think wins?
I think it's gonna happen, and I got Mighty Mouse all day. Mighty Mouse is my favorite, active fighter right now, and I think he's too quick. I think he's just so technical, and I think he'll end up, catching Dillashaw with something.
Do you think if that fight happened at 135, do you think that would change anything?
You know what? No, I really don't. I think stylistically, I think DJ wins that fight. I think, look at Mighty Mouse. The only losses he had are, Brad Pickett and Dominic Cruz at 35. He was still smoking everybody else. Mm-hmm. So I think he'd still be a killer at 35.
Well, I appreciate your time, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Thanks to my friends, family, sponsors, Hypnotic, all my teammates, and thanks for having me.
Anytime. Real quick here, if you could, kind of a favor, a tradition we have here, if you could just say, this is Manny Vasquez, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast?
This is Manny Vasquez, and you're listening to the Did You See This Shit podcast.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, man.
Take care. There you go.
So many Chicago fighters that are going to be doing some crazy things.
Just another guy that is just ready for the big time. I can't wait.
There's something in the water in the Midwest, man.
All right, Paulo, UFC Fight Night Chile is right around the corner here. Kamaru Usman, Damian Maia. Damian Maia is a plus 450 dog in this. That seems crazy to me.
I don't know how crazy that sounds, man. Usman's a good fighter, and I think he just has a lot more tools to win this fight.
I think he's probably going to win the fight, but I think Maia can beat him. I said it before. I said a couple weeks ago. I think this is dangerous for Usman because I think he thinks his wrestling is a lot better than it is. I think Maia can catch him. I'm going to pick Maia here in an upset.
If he does what you think he's going to do, then yeah, he's going to get demolished. I think he's going to use his striking, and he's going to use his wrestling to stay on his feet.
In the co-main event, Alexa Grasso, the number 9th ranked 115-pound fighter in the world, 10-1, is going against Tatiana Suarez. She's undefeated. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Tatiana, man. This fight's too hard to call for me, but I'm going to go with Tatiana. I think that she is going to keep that undefeated record and is going to get the win.
I'm going with Grasso. I think she is the better fighter, even though she is 10-1. Suarez is good. She's undefeated. She's only 6-0, though. I think the move to Team Alpha Male is good for Suarez. I just don't think she's going to have enough to get by Grasso, so I'm going to go Grasso. And then how about Jared Cannonier, Dominic Reyes? Cannonier is a fucking just a juggernaut. I don't know how that man makes 205 pounds. It's unreal. He's 10-3. He's going against Dominic Reyes. Reyes is 8-0. This kid is for real. I think 2 or 3 more fights, this Reyes could really be an interesting 205-pound prospect. I'm going to go Reyes here.
I'm going to go Reyes on this. He has just the perfect body for light heavyweight, man.
We want to have sex with him?
Yes, definitely.
You would definitely have to be on the bottom.
No, I think I could do top.
With him?
Yeah, don't put any. I got no shame in my game. Listen, I could.
Moving along, Diego Rivas is going against Giorgio Cameri. This is kind of, if you have to go to the bathroom, this is one to do it on. Well, there's going to be plenty of opportunities because it's an FS1 card.
This is my bathroom card.
I would go Rivas, though. This is your bathroom card.
Yeah,
We're going to wipe your ass with the entire card?
Yo, fart sounds. I know when I normally make fart sounds, I come back the next week and I'm like, well, that was actually a pretty good card. I don't think this one's going to be a good card.
I think it will surprise you. Veronica Macedo is going against Andrea, a.k.a. Lee. She's making her debut. This is one I'm looking forward to because Andrea Lee's got a lot of hype around her. I think she gets it done. I'm going to say she submits her in round 2.
I think she has a really good matchup. The UFC, since she has so much hype, gave her a really good fight to bring her in.
The curtain jerker Vicente Luque is going against Chad Laprice. Laprice is a very talented striker. I think he's going to be able to hold off Luque. I like Laprice here.
I'm going to go with Laprice as well. Man, this whole card is sad to me. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Zach Cummings on the undercard. He's a friend of the show. Hopefully he...
he's on this card?
Yeah, he's tough draw, man. He's got Michelle Pereira. So best of luck to Cummings.
I think Cummings got this.
We'll see. Hopefully he takes care of business. We'll have him back on either way, though, in the coming weeks. Some more of this Pennington corner bullshit, man. Now that we've had just about a week to digest, I know your position softened quite a bit. So has a lot of other people's.
My position is, and I want to make it clear, as long as Pennington's okay with it and her coach is okay with it, I'm okay with it. It wasn't nice to watch, but Tim Kennedy wants to steal what I said in our live stream. I do truly believe that if this was a man, no one would have an issue. It is hard to see. I think a lot of people overreacted because she was a woman.
Tim Kennedy probably watched our live stream and then went on the Rogan podcast. You know how he does it.
And he didn't give us no shout out.
I had a chance to talk with a couple of coaches, right? I had a chance to talk with Din Thomas and Antonio McKee Sr. They both felt the same way I did, and that is that this shit happens way more often than we realize. It's just a camera happened to catch it. Big deal. And most fighters have been in that position before. As a matter of fact, in an interview that we're going to be playing, not in this episode, but in the probably the next episode with Antonio McKee Sr., he details in the conversation with him a fight where he was cornering Emmanuel Newton. He's a former Bellator 205-pound champion, okay?
Beast.
He's telling us about a fight in which Newton came back in between round 1 and 2 and said, listen, coach, I don't want any more. I'm done. And same thing, right? And Antonio says, listen, man, get out there and go do that. And he went out there in round 2, got his ass whooped. And he comes back. He comes back to the last round, right in between 2 and 3, the last round. And he's like, coach, I'm done. I'm done. And Antonio McKee said, get your ass out there and go back out there and go do what you do. And guess what happened? He went out there and he fucking won.
Yeah, I think the optics of it is
Well, I
is
think to sum
definitely
it
a female.
up, what Antonio McKee said, and I think this is best. He said, "Listen, was she sick of getting her ass whooped, or did she have a legit reason for not wanting to fight?"
Yeah.
Because to me, it looked like she was just tired of getting her ass whooped, and that's not a good enough reason to quit.
Yeah, if it was for the broken nose and the leg, then yes, that's a good reason to quit. For her, no. It's a touchy situation.
Regardless of how we feel, that's how they all feel. Here's how Eryk Anders felt. I want to welcome Eryk Anders to the show. He is, of course, a UFC middleweight, 10-1, and well, hasn't had a fight in a while. So I wanted to figure out what's going on, man. How you been?
Man, I can't complain. Doing awesome. Just training, staying in shape. You know, hoping to get that phone call soon. You know, of course, it's always better to have a little bit of notice before a fight, but you know, I'll take short notice fights. Somebody gets injured, I'm going to have to step in and throw hands with whoever.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to get back in there, man. Of course, your last outing against Lyoto Machida, you came up on the losing end of a very close split decision. I just rewatched the fight, man. I can make an argument that you won that fight, but how did you feel about it?
After the fight was over, I think that both Lyoto and I felt that I had won the fight. If you look at his demeanor, his body language after the fight, whatever, his head's hanging down. He went right back to his stool, sat down. Was kind of out of it. I spoke to him before they read the say who won or whatever. He just seemed real down and not really sure. And I felt great. Felt like I had won. Definitely took rounds 2, 3, and 5. Spent most of round 1 on my back. So, he definitely got the round 1. Like I said, I took the middle round, and he probably won the 5th round. So, it is what it is. Learning experience. I think the worst part about it is that I just feel like if you go into a fight and you fight through all 3 rounds, all 5 rounds, whatever, and then you have energy left at the end of the fight. If I was bouncing around, I could have done it 5 rounds just like that. And I was you got to leave it all in the cage or go out on your shield. That's kind of what you can expect from me.
Yeah, man. As I said, I think if that fight was anywhere but Brazil, well, not anywhere, if it was in the United States, that's easy going your way. But you'll be back. Sure. You'll be better than ever. What did you think about Machida's performance just last week?
I think that certainly makes me look better. Him going out there and easily dispatching of a legend like Vitor Belfort. So, I think you just let Machida stand in the middle of the cage and, kind of do what he wants. And that stupid stuff he does with his hips, that's kind of what happens to you. He's done that to a lot of people. So I think the way to beat Machida is to pressure him, put him up against the cage, and, I think do what I did, but not be so patient, not be as patient as I was. I think that's the way to beat Machida. I'd love a rematch. I'd love to do it again, but I seriously doubt he's looking to take that fight.
Yeah, I saw on social media you had put something to the effect of that you're out here, you're ready, and I think you hit the matchmakers in the tweet too. So you've been trying to get a fight, just no one wants to fight you. That's what it sounds like? Is that the case?
Man, I can't really necessarily say that nobody wants to fight, but at the same time, nobody's exactly chomping at the bit. I'm not really sure what's going through Nick Vineyard's head. Whether he's like I need to develop more, or I really don't know why. I guess all the top guys are either booked or have recently fought, so probably don't want me to fight a newcomer. But at the same time, everybody in the top 15 is pretty much booked or it's recently fought. So that's just kind of the way things go. Sometimes you got to play the wait game and wait for that opportunity. So. Whenever, whoever, I'll be ready.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, about the top 15. And, newcomers are always dangerous. So, real quick, man, you mentioned earlier about kind of going out on your shield. That's what we can expect from you. All this talk from Raquel Pennington over the weekend, she had said between round 4 and 5 that she wanted out of there. She didn't want to continue in her corner. Basically said, tough it up. And I don't know if you are aware, but it's a big deal. I guess everybody is really ragging on her corner. Did you see that? And if so, man, what is your feeling on that?
Yeah, for sure. I think at the same time, like, you need to find out why the fighter wants out. Are they just tired? Are they frustrated? Or are they, in Raquel Pennington's case, she probably broke her nose, her orbital bone. Her face was mush,
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's an injury thing, then, yeah, you need to go and throw in the towel so you don't cause further injury. And, because, man, I think that, they probably took some time off of Raquel Pennington's fight career. Whenever you start chipping away at the bones and fracturing bones in your face, man, I think that, it's easier to get knocked out after that. Her nose, her sinuses are going to be jacked up for a really long time. She's probably going to have to have surgery and stuff. So I just feel like if it's an injury thing, you need to go and throw in the towel. But sometimes, it's a toughness issue or conditioning issue or something like that. But your corner, you're supposed to know your fighter. You're supposed to, always be thinking with them as they're thinking for themselves. I feel like there should be some kind of bond, some kind of chemistry. So, Raquel Pennington is definitely one of the toughest females in MMA. So, if she says that she wants out and she's done, then, you should probably go ahead and toss that towel.
You pretty much just said it best right there, man. Well, I can't wait to see what's next for you, man. I really hope they get you paired up with someone in the top 15 because I think you're definitely the dark horse because no one wants a piece of you, it looks like, man. You got any last words, sponsors, anything? Floor is yours, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Infinite CBD, go ahead and head to infinitecbd.com. Use promo code Anders10, like the number 1010. Save yourself a little bit of money at checkout and on shipping and stuff. CBD has been great for me in terms of recovery, and I actually sleep a lot better when I use it. And grunt style, always rocking with grunt style. So, man, that's really all I got, man. You guys follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Eryk Anders, ERYKANDERS. Appreciate the love and support.
I appreciate it, man. I'd love to have you back when they get you matched up.
Looking forward to it, brother.
Take care, man.
All right, you too.
Bye. All right.
Made it pretty clear.
Yes, he did. So, Paulo, if you're going to sum up a UFC Fight Night Chile in one word, what word is that?
Mediocre.
Just like your stand-up.